Hi everyone, Mischa here. I have not done a live in a really long time. I just wanted to hop on here and do a quick video to help educate people on how to help others who are going through a grieving process. Death is all around us. It's going to happen to every one of us, but yet as a society, we're really bad at handling loss, and we're really bad at helping others get through their time of grief and helping them with their loss. We're in the holiday season, and it always seems like this time of year is when the most people die. We're in winter. It's a time of letting go. It's a time of death and rebirth. So it's happening a lot right now because of this season. And if someone you know has experienced a death or any kind of traumatic event, really, then I hope this message finds you well. I'm putting on my death doula hat today, and I'm also an ordained minister. So I have a lot of experience in helping people navigate this bumpy road that we call grief. Okay. We all want to be experts in everything. We all want to say exactly the right thing. But I want to caution you, just because you hear certain phrases a lot doesn't mean they're the right thing to say. Okay. Some things that you do not want to say to people who have just lost somebody or experienced a very traumatic event is, oh, they're in a better place now, or at least they're not suffering, or I know exactly how you feel. You know, I've experienced this exact same thing. None of those things are helpful. Saying things like, oh, I'm sending love and light. That's not helpful either. These are just very empty phrases that we tend to say when we don't know what else to say. But what they do is they diminish the experience that this person is having. It is basically, you're just taking up space with these words. They're meaningless. They're not impactful. They're not helpful. And in fact, they could a lot of times, cause more stress to the person that you're saying them to. So if you don't know what to say, here's some things that you can say, and then some things that you can do. You can always say, you have my condolences. I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine what this is like for you going through this. Okay? Those are more sincere. They're heartfelt. Do not say something like, oh, let me know if I can do anything. Let me know how I can help you. Not helpful. Okay, again, that's another phrase that's just a placeholder. When you're grieving, you can't remember to ask for help. You can't remember that someone told you that, oh, you can reach out to me. You can't make decisions, everyday decisions. You are caught up in your grief. You're only thinking about the loved one that you lost. You're only thinking about trying to breathe and getting through that exact moment. Don't place additional pressure on somebody and put it on them by saying, oh, reach out to me and let me know what I can do to help. No, you need to step in and help. Okay. You need to anticipate what this person needs. And you can do that by just take a minute and think about, what would you need if you just lost your brother or your sister or your spouse or your best friend? What would you need the most? You're going to need the comfort of knowing somebody's there next to you. You're going to need hugs, probably. Even people that aren't huggers, when they lose somebody, most of the time they want hugs. You're going to need food, right? You're going to be caught up in your grief. You're not going to remember to eat. So an act that you can do, or an action that you can take, is bring somebody a dinner. And if you can't cook, or you don't have time, or you live far away from them, look up their address, look up the nearest pizza place, send them a pizza and have it delivered. Something. Distance doesn't have to mean that you can't do anything. You can. Okay, these are some things that they're going to need. They're going to need the comfort. They're going to need food. They're going to need help taking care of everyday things. You can go mow their lawn, shovel their snow, take their dog for a walk, help them take their kids to the park or something so they can have a nap. These are things that you can do. But these empty phrases that we hear time and time again, we need to stop that cycle, because it's not helpful. Okay? If you don't know what to say, then just be silent and be there physically with them. When I was 15 years old, my big brother was 18, and he had come back from the army. He married. Okay? He was single when he left. He was 18 when he left. He came back home with a bride. And so they were obviously living at home, and I was still there. And my new sister-in-law, I don't remember how many months it was, but she had lost her grandpa. And she was very, very close to her grandpa. And I was 15. I'm still a kid. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say, but I'm very empathetic, and I knew that she needed something. And because I didn't have the words at that time, the only thing that I did is I went and I sat next to her, and I just stayed there. I just stayed there just so she would know that she's not alone. And do you know that she told me that that was the most helpful thing that anybody did for her? Just me sitting there in silence. So I want to impress upon you that it's okay to have that silence. You don't have to just spew empty words, or, these old phrases that are so tiring, that are so unhelpful. You don't need to say something just to say something because you don't know what to do. If you can't remember to say, I'm so sorry for your loss, you have my condolences, then just be there with them. Let your presence be enough, because trust me, it will be. And a lot of people tend to kind of shy away, even as time goes on, because grief is a journey. Even after we get through the funeral and all of that, your friend or your family member, they're still grieving their loss. They're going to be having tough days ahead. They're going to be going along their way, and they might be at a red light and just start crying because something reminded them of their loved one, or they might just wake up crying. They might be okay one day and then see something that triggers a memory and start crying. So it's important not to forget about them. It's important to keep up the support. It's important to check in with them. So many people say, well, I know that you've been going through a hard time, but I didn't know what to say or do, and I didn't want to bother you. You're not going to bother them. In fact, by you not saying something, you're going to make that person who's grieving feel more alone, because they already feel alone after losing their loved one. And when their friends all of a sudden just stop showing up, stop calling, stop texting, it's going to compound their trauma. It's going to compound their grief, because now They're having to not just deal with the grief of their loved one, they're having to deal with the grief. Even if they're not aware of it, subconsciously, they're dealing with the grief of losing their friends. And maybe not in your head do you think that you lost a friend, but trust me, they think that. Because where are you? You're uncomfortable. You didn't know what to say, so you just stay quiet. I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. If you love your friend, you love your family, you need to show up. You need to check in on them. And an appropriate text to send them would be, "Hey sis," or "Hey BFF, I love you so much. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I just wanted to send you a quick text to let you know that. You don't need to respond to this. Just know you're in my thoughts." That's a perfect thing to say, because you don't want them to feel like they have to respond to every single text or email or instant message. You're taking that burden off of the table for them, and they can just look at that quick message, and trust me, they're going to appreciate it. And they're going to take a deep breath, and they're going to feel seen and understood, and they're going to know that you're still in their corner. So if you don't know what to say, either just be there, let your presence be there in silence, or send quick messages, do nice acts of service, things that are going to help them. And if you have a best friend like I do that is very strong and stubborn, if she were to say, "Oh, no, I got this. You don't need to do anything. I'm strong. I'll be fine." You don't take that for an answer. You do it anyway. Because people who have especially been independent for a long time, people that are used to standing on their own and being the ones that give to everybody else, people that are used to figuring everything out for themselves, they're the ones that need the support the most. And they're not going to tell you that. So you just need to do it anyway. You just need to show up at their house with a casserole and a hug. Or dial that phone and have a pizza delivered. And send them those texts. And keep following up with them, because they're going to need you. So please put thought and intention into your actions and into your words. And if it feels like, oh, this is just what people say, please don't say it. Speak from your heart and let your actions be from the heart, and show up, because that's what they're going to need the most. I hope this quick little video helps somebody. And I hope that if enough people start doing these things, then all those sayings that you constantly hear will just start to go to the wayside. Because we need to get back to putting ourselves in other people's shoes. So ask yourself, if someone said that to you, would you find it helpful? Or would you just find it irritating or dismissive? So speak with intention and live with intention, and spread that love.